Hey everyone, John here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how to make a wooden mallet. This is a really simple, easy thing to do. It takes about 10 minutes. Really simple. We got some company here with us. Little Wendy bear. It's Wendy. We call her a little baby. It's my girlfriend's dog. We're going to be making a wooden mallet out of just some limbs or whatever it is. It's really easy to make. This isn't any fancy mallet like you'd make in a workshop where these guys are cutting through tenons and doing, what are you doing, Wendy? They're doing, what are they called, laminations and things like that. We're not going to be doing any of that. This is just real simple, easy job. So let's go ahead and get into it. The material I'm going to be working with is just some random growth that I've cleared. Once again, you don't really need to worry about the type of wood or whatever on this. As long as it's reasonably dry and reasonably hard, you know, this is something that you can make very quickly. This is an expedient tool. So let's go ahead and get cutting on it. Let's pick a piece and get cutting. I'm going to choose a nice knotty piece. It's nice and hard. And this one isn't going to be that big around. It's maybe a 2.5 inch diameter across it. But I'm not going for a really big wood mallet, just something for driving tenons in and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut a section off right here. This is going to be the head for our mallet. Next thing we need to do is find a piece of wood that's about 1 inch in diameter. And we're going to be carving that down to the size of our drill bit in a minute so that we can fit the handle into the head. Let's go ahead and find something that's suitable here. And I'm thinking this right here is fairly suitable. Let me cut that and see if I can get that out from under there. Alright, when my dad taught me how to do this, we would use a hand auger. He had a few different old hand augers that we would use, and we made seats with them and everything, bored out holes to put pegs and all of that. But today we're just going to be doing this with an electric drill because that's what I have on hand. And I'm doing it with a 3/8 inch bit, so it's going to be a fairly small bit. Now all that's left is just to whittle this down to a 3/8 inch post that'll go into the head of the mallet. So we're already just about there. It only took a few minutes, about 3 or 4 minutes so far I've been working on this. Just try to get it good and even all the way around so we get the most contact with the inside, that way we don't have a wobbly head. Get some good even contact in there. Alright, now all that's left is hanging the head. And I'm not going to use glue on this. If it ever comes loose, I can put it back in and use glue on it. I think that's got her. It's fully seated all the way down to the shoulder. You can see the head of it comes right up to the opening there. The shaft goes all the way through this, so it's nice and strong connection. Even though it's a relatively small one, can't guarantee that this will last very long with a 3/8 inch drill bit. If you use something like a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch, it'll last you a long time. The last thing I'm going to do to this handle is strip all the bark out of it. As nice as it looks, it's a little bit rough and be a little bit tough on the hands. So what I found is a great way when you're trying to cut anything off the handle or remove anything from a handle, whether it's bark or whether it's varnish from a store-bought handle, is you actually take your knife and you scrape it along. You hold it edge upright at about a 9-degree angle, maybe a little shy of that, and you just scrape it across, and you see how it forms these little strings just like that, if the camera will focus. Forms those little tiny strings. And back before sandpaper was a thing, back before that was invented, they would use metal sheets, and I think they called it carding. I can't remember what it was, but it was basically a card, a metal card, and you would just drag your knife along it, and you just try to go with the grain. Don't go into the grain when you're doing it. So the direction of the grain is going this way, so I'm scraping this way, and that gives you a nice, smooth, round surface to work with. And this is just a finishing touch. You don't have to do this. Handle's usable as it was before. It was usable before we even chamfered it. This is just to help it last a little longer. Alright, so here is the handle, and you can see it's nice and round, it's nice and smooth. Looks really good. That's a great way to finish off a handle or to remove varnish from a handle, and just remove a little bit of wood because it just removes a tiny sliver. Now, one of the reasons that I chose to use a really knotty piece of wood like this, it's got little knots all through it, is because those knots, one, they make the wood hard. The wood is a lot more dense there, it's slower growing, but also those knots put sort of a curling into the wood and interlocks the grain, so this isn't going to split out as badly as it would if this was just a straight clear grain piece of wood. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a like down below. Leave me comments if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you in the next one. Later.